Well, we have finally arrived. Patch 13.5 is out, and with it came a slew of new changes, updates, and of course, a fresh wipe to satiate us until the real game begins again in December. But in the meantime, there's still a lot to go over with these changes. I figure for now, because it's still so early, we can just do a brief overview of the patch notes and talk about it. And then in the future videos, we can go over individual changes a little more in depth as they become more prevalent. So be sure to subscribe if you're interested in those future videos. Otherwise, let's not waste any more time. Patch 13.5 has set a solid foundation with these patch notes, some good, some decent, and others that could be interesting down the line this wipe. Right off the bat, let me also mention just my personal experience with this wipe so far. This has easily been the roughest start to a wipe I've had in a long time. Low survival rating, which to be fair doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but man, it feels like everyone just got amazing at this game overnight, because almost all of my PMC interactions have been instant one-taps to my head. Now, granted, they're just really hitting good shots, but that scrappiness that we come to expect with a reset has been replaced with insane one-taps. People are just really good, I guess. Quest progression has also been slow, but it's starting to pick up a little bit more. But yeah, it hasn't been all smooth sailing. I'm working through it. As for the game itself, I mean, it's still Tarkov at the end of the day. I have the patch notes up just so I can reference them. I've only been on streets once and spawned in the first original chunk of the map and tried to go exploring, but died to a player, so I can't say anything on that new area yet. I didn't see the new boss either. But after watching the trailer BSG put out for the patch, I honestly don't want to. That last clip of the new boss snapping onto the PMC's head by like 90 degrees and two-tapping him instantly, honestly that clip should not have been in that video, but whatever. My performance wasn't fantastic, but honestly right now the entire game's performance has been put into question, which usually happens when we get big patches. There are some serious memory leaks where after 3 or 4 raids, my FPS tanks drastically. So if you've been having FPS problems after playing a bunch of raids, just do a quick reset of the game, that can usually help. I haven't messed with kit presets much, but I can definitely see myself doing so in the future once I have all my traders to, I'd say, at least level 2. That will be so much more convenient for re-kitting up after a death. The game also has a bunch of default presets, and I made like a YouTube short about them because they're kind of silly. It's laid out very nicely, and something I noticed is that if you have gear in your stash that can fill an empty slot on your PMC, you get this cool new menu that shows everything available you can wear on your character, which I think is really neat. There's no more searching for body armors that you know are in your stash, but could be hidden in a stack of backpacks somewhere. BSG has been making attempts to clean up the game in terms of quality of life changes, and this patch has a lot of them, which is very welcome into this game. Randomized loot containers are something I have very mixed feelings about right now. This will definitely get its own video at some point, and I am interested in why they made this change, what their goal was with it, and what kind of impact they wanted to have on the game with it. Because honestly, I can't tell whether it's a good or bad change. Not having loot always be in the same spots you can't route is very cool, but also sometimes has nothing spawn, which kind of takes away from the fun of searching for supplies. I don't know, I need to set up my feelings about this change a little bit more so I can give it a yay or a nay. But I foresee this becoming cool later down the line, but right now I'm kind of like, why? I guess is probably my main question, but we'll see. Sidearm quick swapping is also something I appreciate BSG attempting to combat. I say attempt because its implementation fixes some aspects of it, but also causes more problems now. Again, this will get its own video, because again, this is just an overview, but I also have mixed feelings on the fast swap currently as it sits in the game right now. The new UI on the menus is probably the best thing about this patch by far. While the loading of items isn't as instant as it was previously, not having to press back to reach every new trader we want to interact with is so nice. I still have the old muscle memory, but I'm slowly getting the hang of just pressing the icons of each vendor to switch between them. But overall, its design is not the best. It could be a little bit better. The little icon of the PMC is kind of silly, but functionally, it's absolutely fantastic, and I love it so much. Well done, BSG. I'm still at a low level, so I haven't messed with all of the new guns that they've come into the game with, except the updated Makarov pistols, and I have no idea why. But I am currently like absolutely obsessed with having them like on my side when I bring another gun. When you put the new grips on them that allow, you know, a flashlight or anything, they just look awesome. So I've been taking one in with me almost every single raid. This gun might get its own video, even though it has no right to because it's a bad gun. I'm not sure yet, but I just love the new look of them. I haven't seen the SVT in action. I haven't seen any of the PKM or anything like that. So when I get my hands on those guns, I'm definitely going to try them and might make a video on them. So I'm assuming the SVT is going to become what we thought the Vepr Hunter would become, which is going to be like this early game level 2 vendor just meta machine. That thing looks awesome, but we'll see when I actually get to use it. And one final honorable mention, I am very glad that painkillers no longer increase the sharpness of your game. It visually looks so much more pleasant just to look at. Granted, there were some moments where the sharpness actually looked really cool, but now having a desaturation effect plus blurriness around the edges of your screen does make it easier on videos and streams, which for me personally is very wonderful. Some people will definitely dislike this change, but overall, I feel like it's a net positive. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see until people play this game a lot longer, and then we'll know. But other than that, there's still a lot to go over. But again, I feel as though I need to put more time into the game before saying anything else about this patch. It's been a very slow start for myself personally, but once I get out of the early game hump, I will be able to really experience what 13.5 has to offer. So for now, I'll just leave it at that and ask, what are your thoughts on this patch so far? How's your initial wipe progress going? Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below and subscribe for more videos about more interesting parts of patch 13.5. Hope to see you in future ones.